Hi everyone, my name is Michelle, for those of you who I don't know. I'm a yoga teacher and a personal trainer in the Boston area. And since everything's been shut down, I decided doing some yoga videos, workout videos that you can do at home to stay healthy, happy, and sane, which leads me right into our practice today. We're going to be flowing and we'll be doing some challenging poses, so I encourage you to work at your own level and just have fun, get creative. One of the benefits of practicing at home is that you can wear whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can make silly faces, crazy deep breaths, whatever big exhales, cries, or sighs you need to do to help you get through this practice. I like to think of yoga as a moving meditation and letting go of everything and just coming into your body, connecting with your breath, being in this moment, and just trying to slow things down when there's been so much kind of change in our life right now. So thank you for joining me. This is every bit as much helpful for me as I hope it is for you. Let's get started in a child's pose position. So come into your hands and your knees. Let your knees be a little bit wider than hips width apart. Draw your big toes in towards one another. And just let your forehead come to rest down onto the floor. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Slow exhale out the mouth. Again, nice deep inhale through the nose. Slow exhale out the mouth, just letting go of your day. And allowing yourself to arrive here in this moment. Listening to the sounds of your breath and feeling the sensations in your body. Now as you breathe, taking that deep inhale through the nose, seal the lips closed, and exhale back out the nose. Gently drag the breath along the back of the throat, cultivating a ha-like sound with the breath. Allow the breath to be audible to yourself. Visualize your breath like the waves washing in. As you inhale, the waves crash in, and as you exhale, the wave recedes out. Stay with your breath here. 2 more rounds. One more round, nice and slow. On your next inhale, coming up to all fours, sitting yourself in a tabletop, lining your shoulders up over your wrist, spread your fingers nice and wide, and lining your hips up right over your knees. Start to move in the shapes of cat and cow. Exhale, rounding the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, push the floor away, and inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, pushing the floor away, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, and inhale, lengthen, let the elbows bend a little here. And just let your eyes close. Feel into your body, observing any places that may be feeling tight, stiff, and just allow yourself to move creatively. Organically, maybe shifting the hips or the shoulders around. no wrong way to do this. We're always listening to our body. And then slow some of that movement down. As you come into a tabletop, you're going to start to create that flat back and start to pull the ribs in towards the back of the body, the navel back towards the spine. Curl the toes under and just float the knees, hover them up off the floor, just about an inch. All right. And then look down to your hands, pressing your thumbs and your index finger down into the ground. Push the floor away, start to feel the arms light up, the inner pectoral muscles light up. Try not to let those knees lift. All right, and now we're going to tilt the tail towards the sky, kind of like cow pose. Start to press your belly back toward your thighs, trying to see, can you get your ribs to meet your thighs? Keeping those knees really bent here in this what we call turbo dog. Let your arms rest, your head rest between your arms. And then we'll slowly press the heels down towards the floor. And I know it's not important to get those heels to touch the floor, but just to feel that nice stretch. And notice if you started to round in your back here and then explore what it feels like to lift up onto the toes, bend the knees, and tilt the tail, creating a long spine, decrease in hips. Pressing nice and even through both of your hands. On an inhale, you're going to round the spine, coming forward to plank. Let your gaze come a little out in front of you. Check yourself out here. Make sure your shoulders over your wrists. Heels are stacked right over the toes. Squeeze the glutes, and as you exhale, bend the knees, tilt the tail, press your belly back towards your thighs, downward facing dog, press the heels towards the floor. Again, inhale, coming up onto your toes, round the spine forward, line your shoulders over your wrists, gaze to the front. Bend the knees, tilt the tail, press back, downward facing dog pose. One more time, inhale, round the spine, come forward. Line your shoulders up over your wrists, lift your gaze forward. Hold it here, holding it here. We're going to squeeze the glutes. Those are your butt muscles, right? Pull the navel to your spine, knit your ribs in nice and tight, and really start to firm up through the front of the quad. So we're not letting the legs or the hips droop. Right, take one more nice big inhale. Exhale, lower slowly to the floor, elbows point towards the back of the room, squeezing them right by your ribs. All the way to your belly, press the tops of your feet down to the ground. Lift the kneecaps and inhale, little baby cobra. Try not to use your hands, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, lengthen the spine as you lower down. Two more times with your breath. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, lengthen the spine, lower down. One more time, inhale, coming up. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. On an inhale, push up through all fours. Round your spine like a cat. Stretch your hips back towards your heels. Child's pose stretch. Actively reach the fingertips towards the front of the room. As you sink the hips back and down, take a deep breath into the belly and feel the breath expand in all directions. The back of the body, the sides of the body. Oh, it always feels so good. Just warming up. Right? Coming back to your tabletop position. Curl those toes under. Press down through the thumb and the index finger and float those knees up off the floor. Pull the ribs in tight, pull the belly in tight. Tilt the tail. Press your belly back towards your thighs, long spine, decrease in hips, and then stretch those heels down towards the floor. You can explore here a little bit. Just pedal the heels, shift the hips around. And trying to push the floor wide. Try to see, can you get those shoulders back behind your wrist to take some of that pressure out of the wrist. And then spread those fingers wide, pushing out through the outer rim of the palm all the way out to the fingertips. All right, let's slow some of that pedaling down. Maybe a little bend in the knee. Lengthen up through the spine. Press evenly through your hands. Lift your right leg up. Big inhale. Just lifting that right leg only hip height. Square your hips and shoulders to the floor. Really think of turning that right pinky toe down to the ground. Take one more big inhale, coming up onto those left toes. Exhale, round the spine. Pull the knee to the nose. Hover and hold the breath out. Inhale, full breath in. Reach your leg back. See if you can straighten that right leg nice and long. Come up onto the toes. Exhale, round the spine. Pull the knee to the nose. Hover, hold. Shoulders are over your wrists. Inhale, reach it up and back. And then lift up on those toes. Exhale, knee to nose. Hover, hold. Step your foot between your hands. All right, lower the back knee to the ground. Scoot your foot forward. We want to make sure that front knee is right over the heel. Get light on your fingertips. You can relax the top of the foot to the floor. Let the hips open. Start to lift your gaze in front of you. Let the tail drop. Let's give those hips a moment. Now we'll move into a twist. You can reach your right arm up. Reach out, let your gaze follow your arm as you reach to the sky. Exhale, release the hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Reach all the way up from hip to fingertip. Exhale, release. One more time to each side. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling, reaching. And exhale. Release. Hand right underneath your shoulders. Hamstring stretch. You're going to walk the fingertips back so your hands are right under your shoulders. And then lift those right toes towards the sky. Tilt the tail back. Lift your gaze. Lengthen your spine. Exhale. Fold. You can let the chin come towards the chest. The crown of the head reach for the toes. A lot of times we're really tight in the hamstring. So if you need to bend that right knee a little bit more, bend your right knee. Try to square up those hips. When you say square, it's just this idea. It's never perfect. Keep lifting those toes. Take one more full breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, walking forward. Hands come underneath the shoulder. And you're going to pull that right heel in and extend that right leg back. Adjust yourself so your shoulders are over your wrists, your fingers are spreading wide. And then again, square your hips and shoulders towards the floor so you feel that right hip is level with the left hip. All right, now we'll go ahead and start to kickstand the left foot out towards the side. And you're going to reach your right arm up towards the sky. You're going to come into this modified half moon here. Take your gaze down, your body down towards your right foot. See, can you get your right heel, hip, and shoulder in line? Yeah, feel the waistline hugging you nice and tight as you push the floor away. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to press your foot down towards the floor and reach your fingertips towards the foot. So you feel that big arc in the body, opening and pushing those hips and ribs up. And then as you exhale, squeeze it back in. Nice. For two more times, inhale, stretch it long like taffy. And then exhale, squeeze. Squeeze the hips, squeeze the ribs in to meet one another. One more time, inhale. And exhale, squeeze those hips and ribs together. Hold it here. We're going to keep the right arm reaching up. Press the right foot down. All right, this is a modified Vashisthasana, or side plank, right? Modified side plank. Option, you're going to go for that full plank. You could step that left foot back, maybe stack your feet or stagger your feet. Lift that waistline high, push the floor away. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, place your hand back underneath your shoulder, coming into your full plank. Gaze looks out in front of you. Exhale. You're going to push forward on your toes, lower all the way to the belly. Keep those elbows squeezing in tight. Inhale, little cobra. Hold here as you exhale. Inhale, hold cobra, or option to explore up dog. Pressing down through the tops of the feet. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes and broaden the collarbone as you pull the chest through the gates of the shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Option to lower the knees first or just flip those toes over, your choice. All right, as we start to flow, it's up to you to mix and match what feels best for your body. Let's just take a couple of pedals here. Get ready for the second side. Pressing nice and even through the hands. We'll slow down through the pedal. Left leg lifts up just hip height. Take a big inhale, flexing the ankle, come up onto the toes. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, push the floor away. Inhale, send your heel up. You can release the heel down towards the floor. And then as you exhale, you lift onto the toes, bring the knee to the nose. And that's gonna help you just to get that foot, knee a little closer, foot a little closer, right? Inhale, let's reach. Last one, knee to nose, and step your foot right between your hands. Find this nice long, long lunge. You can lower your knee to the floor, relax the tops of the toes to the ground. Again, lift your gaze, let your tailbone drop. Take a moment to settle into this hip here. Get ready for the twist. The left arm reaches first. Inhaling as you reach, twisting in towards your thigh. Exhale, release the hand down. Second side, right arm reaches, opening up through that right hip. Exhale, release it down. Second side, inhaling, reaching up. Exhale, release. Inhale, finishing with that right arm reaching. And exhale, release. I always love how that feels. All right, let's reach the hips back. You can lift those left toes up. Again, a little bend in the knee, trying to get those fingertips underneath your shoulders. You know, and if you have blocks and that's a part of your practice, that's great. You can always get creative with the, your home practice and using different props like books and things like that. As you send those hips back, let's exhale, release the head. Down, chin to chest. Whew. Those good hamstrings, right? Let's slowly come forward. Bring those hands under the shoulders. Pull your left heel towards your back and extend it back behind you. Line your hands up under your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Turn those hips and shoulders towards the floor. Find that stability. Now spin your right shin out for that kickstand. Press down through your right hand, reach your left arm up, reach it up. All right, check yourself out here, look down at your foot, flex your ankle. All 5 toes should be pointing right towards the side of the room. So I'm pointing them right towards the camera, right towards you. And then we'll press the foot down to the floor as you reach the fingertips over. Inhale, squeeze as you lift up. And reach, palm down, gaze can go up, and then squeeze, hold, reach. This last one, we're gonna lift and hold. I'm feeling that nice long line of energy shooting out through your heel, and then press your foot to the floor, modified side plank, option to step that foot back. Again, you can stack or stagger your feet. Keep pushing the floor away, really lift that waistline nice and high. And back to your plank pose, hands under your shoulders. Now the choice is yours. Option here, you might lower just halfway, squeezing your elbows in. Inhale to up dog or cobra, whatever works best for you. Make sure you engage your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose, push the floor away. Keep creating that nice length through the spine. We're going to slowly pedal our heels and slowly walk our feet all the way up towards the front of the mat. Once you come towards the front of your mat, you're going to let your knees bend a lot. Grab for opposite elbows, just let your head hang. Gently sway your torso a little side to side. Just take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth.
letting go. Just let the stress, whatever you don't need anymore, just let it fall off your back. Continue drawing that awareness back to your breath and back to the feelings and sensations in your body. Alright, so let's release the fingertips to the floor. On an inhale, lift your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, folding. Slide your hands down toward your toes. Release your crown of your head, chin to chest. Again, inhale, lifting halfway, creating length in the spine. And as you exhale, can you pull the belly in nice and tight? Emptying the breath, folding a little deeper. One more time, inhale, coming up halfway. Make sure those knees are a little bent. That's going to facilitate that long spine, and then tipping from the hips, fold forward. On an inhale, find chair pose. Let the weight sink down into the heels. Sweep the arms up. Turn the palms to face in towards one another, and keep lengthening right down through the sitting bones. Start to lift up through the pubic bone up to the navel. Pull the navel back towards the spine, and then hug those ribs in and down. We don't want to flare like this, right? Some of us can be really mobile in the back here, nor do we want to be in this position with the tail tucked. So you really got to find those hips moving back and down. And as you settle that weight down into the heel, I want you to still press down through your pinky toe, press down through your big toe. Start to find all four corners of your feet grounding. Stay with your breath here. Feel that heat in the legs. Stoke the fire a little. Nice work. And then we're going to stand up. Hands to your heart. Finding all four corners of your feet. Maybe rocking just a little forward, a little back. Maybe even a little side to side. So you start to feel that edges. And then you start to settle into where is your plumb line is. Where you land on your feet, and you start to feel the spine stacking. Connect with your breath. And we're going to move through a vinyasa, and we'll be continuing to add one pose on top of the other as we progress through. We'll be holding poses and flowing through our poses. And on your next inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up. Reach up, look up, exhale, fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, folding. You can step back here into your plank position. Long, sturdy plank. Exhaling, elbow squeeze in. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot right between your hands. Pivot your back heel down to the floor. Warrior two, cartwheel your arms up. And as you check your feet out here, you want to make sure your front heel is in line with the back arch of your foot. Right? Like you could draw a straight line. And then as you look back at your back foot, your back toes are angled in just a little bit, slightly pointing towards the front of your mat. And then you check those right toes, and those right toes are pointing right towards the front of the mat. You're starting to reach that knee right over the middle of the foot, the middle toes, stacking the knees right over the heels. All right, and then I want you to see, can you pull your left butt cheek under and reach that left butt cheek over towards your right heel. And then the right butt cheek pulls under and it pulls back towards the left arch of the foot. So you feel the sit bones drawing under and supporting that upper body. Stay with the breath here. This is where we hold the pose. The body really starts to feel the shape. Start to feel the legs shake, maybe even the arms shake. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. Cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Option to be on your knees here as you lower halfway, elbows squeeze in. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. And step your foot right between your hands. Pivot the back heel down to the floor. Warrior two. Check your feet. Make sure your front heel is in line with the back arch of your foot. Left knee is stacking right over the heel. You want to be able to see those toes peering right out over the edge of the left knee. And then you check your back foot, your back toes slightly angled in, and then you start to bring that tail long and zip up through the front of the body. Can you bring your shoulders over your hips? Right? Sometimes we have a tendency to lean a little bit too far forward or too far back, but can you see where your hips, right? Your hips and your shoulders are in line. Right, here you got that back view, so I'm squeezing my outer glutes in, really starting to tone these muscles down into the legs. So there's that sense of pushing down into the floor. At the same time, I'm squeezing and lifting back in. The sides of the body long. Can you relax the shoulders away from the ears, especially as it gets a little bit more intense? Can you connect with your breath? Let your breath help you find that sense of stillness, that sense of ease. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. One more breath. And then on your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor. Curl those back toes or bring those back toes to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Nice and firm plank. Exhale to your push-up, elbows squeezing in. Inhaling to your back bend. Exhaling, downward facing dog pose. Push the floor away. Lengthen up. Maybe pedal your heels a little here. And you can look towards the front of your mat, bending your knees, jumping or stepping your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale to fold. I'm just pacing myself today. Inhale, sit your hips down into your chair, sink your hips low, reach your arms up, and stand up, hands to your heart, grounding down through your feet. Adding on. Inhale, circle sweep those arms out and up. Lift the heart, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Jumping or stepping back. And if you're jumping back, I want you to land right in chaturanga. You want those elbows to be bent, right? And then find that flow. Inhaling to your back bend. Exhaling. Waiting and down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands. Warrior two, pivot the back heel to the floor. Just spending one breath here in warrior two. Inhaling, exhaling, you're gonna reach your left hand right under your left shoulder. And it's gonna be a little bit behind that right foot. And then you're pivoting right onto the ball of the left toes, reaching your right arm up. So you're finding a twist here. Keep the quad lifted. So this is where we have some options here as we start to work back into that Vashisthasana, right? So you could stack your legs, turn and open your hips, or you might have that bottoming down to the floor, coming into that first version we did before. And then we're going to slowly step our right foot back towards the front of the mat. Whew. Release your hands down towards the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Breathe. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot right between your hands, warrior two, pivot the heel to the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up. Feel yourself settle into place, one breath. And then we twist, we're gonna bring that right hand under the shoulder, pivoting onto the right ball of your foot. Reach your left arm up. All right, get that right hand underneath your shoulder, and then we'll come into that side plank. Again, option to lower the knees, find your spot and push the floor away, lift the waistline high. Let's take one more deep inhale. Slow exhale, we'll step that foot back towards the front of the mat. Lower your hand underneath your shoulder, step back into your plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog pose and breathe. Reconnect with your breath. Feel the sensations in your body. Look forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your hips to chair. Sweep your arms up. Exhale to stand. Hands to your heart. Ground down through your feet. Lift through your heart. Find that equal standing in your feet. Moving on. Adding on. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, jump or step back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Breathe. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands. Warrior two. Open up. Exhale, twist. Hand to the floor. Reach it up. Very slowly, can you bring that foot up? Find that side plank. Slowly step that right foot forward. Find your twist. And now up to warrior two. So you can cartwheel the arms up. Find your feet. Sometimes they get a little disorganized. Find that warrior two feet. Keep reaching your right knee towards the front of the room, towards the front of your mat. Flip the palms up. Reverse your warrior, reaching your right arm up as you slide the left hand down. Keep reaching forward. All right, see if you can bring that right butt cheek, pull it under, and try to see if you can reach that right butt cheek towards your left arch of your foot. Right? So see if you can create that sensation and keep lifting up instead of resting and falling into this position, into this shape. Can you create a sense of lift up and out as you ground in? Bend that right knee a little bit more. Challenge yourself. One more full breath in. Slow breath out. Let's cartwheel the hands all the way down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows squeezing in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Breathe. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot between your hands. Warrior two, pivot your heel to the floor. And then slowly twist, bring your right hand down. Find that twist as you reach up. Vashisthasana, bring your leg back. You might float the leg here as you get stronger. Choose your options and bring that knee. Step it forward. Find that twist. Cartwheel the arms up, back heel to the floor. Warrior two. Flip the palms up. Reverse your warrior. And we hold it here. Stay committed to this pose. Start to connect with the breath. Don't just stay here and tough it out. Bring that awareness down into your body. Can you pull that left butt cheek under? Reach your left butt cheek back towards your right arch of your foot. Right? Like there's a marriage and they're drawing in towards one another. Keep reaching your left knee forward. As you reach up, stay lifted, stay long. Connect with that breath. Big inhale. Slow exhale. You got it here. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Cartwheel your hands all the way down to the floor. Step back into your plank. Chaturanga elbows squeezing in, inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Continue to create that length as you push the floor away. And look forward towards your hands, bend your knees, jump or float your way to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Adding on. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms out and up. Connect with that flow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, jump or step. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot. Inhaling, coming up to warrior two. Exhale out, ground. Inhale, reach, twist. Exhale. Inhale, float. Exhale, step. Step it back up. Cartwheel your arms up. Flip the palms, reverse it. Exhale, side ankle. We'll hold the side ankle. Working kind of piece by piece again. Elbow could be here on your knee, or some of you might take your hand down to the floor or a block. All right, we want to keep thinking of pulling those hips forward. Think of leaning back here, right? And if you're feeling this left shoulder dropping forward, this is where you want to be up on the elbow, up on the knee, sorry. And kind of keep working that left shoulder over the right. We don't want to round and come forward. We want to keep that chest open. And then once you feel ready, you reach the arm, and then the gaze goes up, tucking the chin right into the under armpit as you gaze up the arm. Can you pull that right butt cheek under? Open up through the heart. Keep those ribs gently hugging in and down. It's kind of flaring open. Find that full breath in. You got it. Slow breath out. And then we'll release the hands down towards the floor, framing your foot, step back into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga, squeeze your elbows in. Inhale to your back bend, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Push the floor away. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up to your warrior two. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, reach. Place the right hand under your shoulder. Exhale, twist. Inhale, sweep that left leg back. Exhale, pull the knee, step it forward, and cartwheel your arms up. Warrior two, ground down. Reverse your warrior. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, reach it back. Inhale through warrior two. Exhale, side angle. We hold here. All right, check your feet. Look back at your right foot. Just like warrior two, you want to have your heel lined up with your arch of your foot. Start to pull that tail under, lift the belly button in towards the navel, open up. And again, your hand could be right here on your hip, continuing to really encourage that right shoulder to open, right? And a lot of times if we're stiff or feel tension in the neck or shoulders, keeping your hands on your hip is going to help you out in the long run. All right? Keep reaching the knee over the toes again. Don't let yourself get sloppy here. Stay strong. Press through your feet. Create that lift as you hug the belly in. Lengthen the tail down. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back through your plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Or cobra. You know what you need to do. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal those heels. Spread nice and even through the hands as you lengthen the tail up towards the sky. Let's look forward toward the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Jump or floor, step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair, sink your hips low, sweep your arms up, and stand up. Hands to your heart. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Start to enjoy a little bit of this flow with the breath. Inhale as you lift up halfway. Exhale, jumping, stepping back, inhaling, exhaling, down dog. Inhaling, right leg. Exhaling, step it up. Inhaling, warrior two. Exhale, hold. Inhale to twist. Exhale. Inhale, float the leg. Exhale, step it forward. Nice and controlled. Inhaling as you come up to your warrior two. Flip the palms, reverse. Exhaling, side angle, elbow to knee. Reach the arm over. Inhale, we come up to warrior two. Triangle pose, straighten your front leg. Tilt the tail back, reach your arms for a little bend in that right knee. Create length, 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 and lower your hand down to your shin. Let's just bring the left hand to your hip. Feel where your hip is in space, right? We want to get that hip back so that we're creating a little bit more of that plugging into that back foot and lift through the side body. So we want to feel that nice length from your shoulder over, stacking over your right shoulder, and hip stacking over your left. And then we pull that right butt cheek or sit bone in and reach it down through that left heel. If you like, you can reach the arm up if that doesn't bother your neck or shoulders. And gaze can be up or down. Right? As you get more comfortable with balance, you lift the gaze up, bringing your chin towards your shoulder. Press down through your feet. Squeeze those legs together. Press through all four corners of your feet. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. Release your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back through your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands. Warrior two. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, hold. Flip the palms. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Ooh. Skipped ahead, right? We'll come back and find that twist. So twisting if you're already there. Stepping back to that Vashisthasana. Maybe float the leg. And step your foot forward. Nice ground through those feet. Cartwheel the arms up. Warrior two. Flip the palms. Now reverse the warrior. Side angle pose. Inhaling, coming to warrior two, straighten that left leg, triangle pose. All right, we're going to come into that triangle. We're going to start with the ground up. So find your feet evenly pressing. Now you want to micro bend in your left knee, especially for you flexible folks out there. Bend and knee joint a little bit more. All right, and then start to bring that hand, maybe bring the hand to your hip. Opening your hip, opening your shoulder. Can you look down your body? Can you see your hip, your right foot on the floor, and then pull that left hip under, that left butt cheek under, reach it for your right heel. Stay here, using the sides of your body to really create that hugging in. Connect with the breath. Slide the shoulders down and away from the ears. One more big inhale and exhale. Hands come down to the floor. Step back through our plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push the floor away. Breathe. Reconnect with the breath. Reconnect with this very moment. And observe the mind shifting here and there. And just keep redirecting ourselves. Let's look forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Jump or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale as you lift your spine halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Release your crown of your head. Inhale, chair. Sink your hips low. Reach your arms up. Squeeze those legs together. Press through your heels and stand up. We got one more round. Okay, one more round. And again, feel now you know the sequence. Go with the flow. You're in your home, so don't worry about what anyone else thinks. You can add on things. Get creative. Right, ready? Inhale, circle sweep those arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine up halfway to lengthen. Exhale, fold, jumping, stepping back nice and light. Inhaling, exhaling down. Inhaling, right leg. Exhaling, step your foot. Inhaling, exhaling, holding. Inhaling, twisting. Exhaling, holding. Inhaling, floating the leg. Exhaling, step it forward. Inhaling up to warrior two. Flip the palms, reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two, straighten your leg. Preparation for triangle, reach it forward. You fall down into that triangle nice and light here. We get ready for half moon. Adding on to that half moon, gaze comes down to the floor. Bend your right knee. Reach your right fingertips. If you've got a block, that's great. If not, you can just use the very tips of your fingers. Come to the outside of that right pinky toe. You want to keep the hands under the shoulders, and as you float that left leg up, create strength and power through that left leg. Can you flex the ankle, spread the toes? You know, so for most of us, it's hard to really see our foot from this direction. So you really have to take that mind and body and really start to feel, where are you in space? So taking the left hand to the hip can be helpful. Trying to pull that left hip over. You want to start to pull that right butt cheek towards the left heel. Can you pull that right butt cheek towards your left heel and then create that length to the side body? Eventually we get lighter and lighter in the right hand, so it's barely even touching the floor at all. Final part of the pose is, can you look up, right? That's an option. Take one more big inhale. Slow exhale, you're gonna bend the right knee, step back for your warrior two. And cartwheel your hands down to the floor, step back into your plank to chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend, push the floor away. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot between your hands. Warrior two, open up. And hold. Twist. Place the hand under the shoulder. Sweep that left leg back, float. Slowly step it forward. Cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. Reach that knee forward, reverse. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale. And come back up to that warrior two. Straighten the leg, triangle pose. Reach it forward, long, long, long. Breathe. Pull that left sit bone under. Turn those hips forward. Reaching up. Gaze can go down towards your left foot now. Get ready for that half moon. Bend the left knee. Reach the fingertips out. And again, take your right hand to your hip here. Feel the hand on your hip. Can you flex that right ankle, turning all 5 toes towards the side wall? Now you don't want the toes turning up or turning down. Make sure the knee is pointing that same direction, then start to really squeeze that right glute. That left glute squeezes under. A little micro bend in that standing leg so you're not locking out. You'll find you'll get better balance that way. And then you start to lengthen through the spine. Maybe you let go of the floor. Maybe you look up towards your right hand. letting the view of the ground come away from you. Wherever you are, connect with one more breath. Full inhale, slow, long exhale. We'll slowly, lightly step back to your warrior two. Inhaling and exhaling, cartwheeling your hands down to the floor. Step back into your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows squeeze in. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Push the floor away, lengthen up through the spine. Look forward towards the front of your mat, bend your knees, jump or step to the front of your mat. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, sinking your hips down into your chair, sweep your arms up, and stand up, hands to your heart, ground out through your feet. All right, how are those hips and legs feeling? We're gonna turn and use the width of the mat, whatever that is for you in your space. Right, we want our feet to be fairly wide. You want to measure your feet right underneath your hands. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to have the toes just slightly turning in, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your heart, elbows back. Exhale, fold. Lengthen through the spine, release your hands down towards the ground. Take a little bend in the knees and exhale, release your crown of your head. Shake your head a little yes, a little no. You might start to walk your hands through your legs. So reaching the fingertips through towards the wall behind you. Let the head hang. Gently rock a little forward and back. Always getting curious and creative with any little movements in your body. Just really investigating inward. Especially now the body is nice and open and a little bit more receptive for these deeper stretches we're about to approach. Let's walk those hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your gaze forward. Pivot your toes out. Start to bend those knees. You're going to go a little side to side. All right, for everybody, this is going to look a little different, right? Some of you might get really low here. Lift your toes. Maybe you have your heel on the floor. Don't worry. Maybe some of you are a little bit more up here. Everybody's going to look a little different. So just start to explore that movement side to side. And as things start to get warm, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you take your hands to your heart, see how low you can go, right? As you move side to side. Wiggling around here. Ooh, nice. And then we're all going to come back towards the center. We're going to wiggle your feet in a little bit more. We're going to settle into a nice low squat, right? So here, again, everybody's going to look different. Some of you will be right on your toes. Some will be right on your heels. Some of you, your butt's going to be up high, and it's going to be really uncomfortable. You can prop yourself up with a little block underneath your sitting bones, or if you just want to keep your hands on the floor, getting those elbows or the backs of your triceps to the insides of your legs. All right, if you're a little bit more upright, might be here with your hands at your heart, lengthening up through the crown of your head. Wherever you are, just connect with the breath. And you might observe the thoughts as they come and go. Sometimes for me, when I start to challenge myself with some of these flow classes like this today, these vinyasa classes, I find I can just kind of settle my mind a little bit more. Find a little bit of that slower intention, that sense of grounding. We're going to come out nice and slow. You can take your hands to the floor. Just lift your hips. Wiggle it out a little, bend your knees, a little rag doll. And then we're going to wiggle our feet together. Right? So another version of a squat with your feet together. You're going to bend your knees and then let your knees split open. You're going to keep your feet together and then reach your hands forward, sinking your hips back and down. Just let your hands rest between your arms. Taking some deep breaths here. Can you let the tailbone anchor down towards the floor? As you reach the fingertips, you feel that nice rounding in the spine here. And child's pose is another good option. If this doesn't work good for your body, just coming into child's pose. And that's where we're all coming to next. We're going to slowly start to rock our way forward. Coming into that child's pose. The knees a little wider than your hips. You can release your head down towards the floor. Slowly roll the spine up. We're going to just swing your legs over to one side, sit back. I'm going to do a little bit of core work. Lengthen up through the spine. Reach your hands forward. And then you're going to lean back, finding that boat pose. And this boat pose is going to be a little different. You're going to draw the inside seams of your feet together. You're going to press your arms into your legs, and I want you to squeeze your legs into your arms. All right, so you should be shaking here. You should be feeling that fire right, that ring of fire right along the inner thighs. Try to stay lifted up through the spine. Pull the belly in nice and firm towards the back of the body. And then relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep squeezing and pushing. And then relax. You can take your hands behind your knees for a moment. And then take your hands to the sides of your knees. All right, now you're going to press your hands into your sides, lengthen up through the spine, lengthen down through the tail. Just hold it here, hugging those muscles nice and tight into the bone. Stay lifted up through the crown of the head and the shoulders down away from the ears. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale, we're going to take the hands back behind the knees. Tuck the chin around the spine, and you can start to slowly roll vertebrae by vertebrae down towards the floor. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Let the knees be a little bit wide, right along the sides of your ribs as you rock a little side to side. We're going to take our feet to the floor in preparation for a little bridge pose. I want to make sure your feet are about hips width apart and stacking your heels right underneath your knees. Arms come right by your sides with your palms pressing down towards the floor. All right, so you might even feel your heels, your fingertips just grazing the back of your heels. And now press the tips of the shoulder blades down to the floor as you puff your chest up, and then press through your heels, lift your hips, and hold. We press down as we lift up through those hips. Pressing down through the shoulders. Keep the breath nice and full here. Some of you might interlace your hands behind your back. You're welcome to do so. Press through all four corners of the feet. Hugging the knees in so they line up right over your heels. And let's slowly lower all the way down. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Hugging that right knee towards your right shoulder, and extend the left leg nice and long. And then we're going to find a nice, easy twist here. You're going to take your left hand onto your left knee, reach your right arm out towards the right. Let your gaze go down along your right arm, and then bring the knee over towards the left side. And it's okay if your shoulder pops up. You want to try to bring that knee towards the floor, and it doesn't have to touch. But getting into a place where it feels good in your body, and then really welcoming some nice deep breaths into the right ribs. into the back of the right body. Always feels so good. Take your time, slowly hugging your right knee in toward your chest. Hug the left knee in and then stretch that right leg out nice and long. Reach your right heel towards the front of the room as you pull the left knee toward your left shoulder. Feel that nice opening across the front of the right hip. And preparing for your twist, you'll take your right hand to your left shin. Reach your left arm out, look down your left arm, and then bring your knee across your body over towards that right side of the room. Deep breath here, in and out. And let's roll back onto our back. Squeeze both of our knees in, maybe rocking a little side to side, a little happy baby pose as you reach for your feet. Doing any last little movements that your body may be craving. And then as we come to finish up our practice, you spread yourself out onto the floor. Allow those legs to be a little wider than hips width apart, and the arms to be a little wider than shoulders width apart. Allow your eyes to soften and observe the subtle shifts of your mood, the subtle shifts of your energy, and observe the pace of the mind without getting caught up in any of its thoughts, stories, or to-do lists. Just simply notice. And then come back to the breath and back to the feelings and sensations in your body. And I want to thank you all for joining me. And I recommend, if you have time, to just stay here for a little bit longer, staying with the breath and staying with the feelings and sensations in your body.